It is Wednesday, a really cloudy day here in Vilcabamba, in the southern part of southern Ecuador. I've been having a lot of these feelings that the new YouTube creators get, which is what in the heck am I doing this for? What's the point of this? Nobody's watching, nobody cares, nothing's going on. I'm running out of things to talk about. I could talk about me. Well, let's see. What have we been seeing in the news? Of course, we have a war now, which is surrealistic, but what brought it on is fairly surrealistic on its own. So it's part and parcel, as they used to say. It's fairly weird, and following it is weird. And I keep thinking, boy, I'm glad I'm not driving a car up in North America, going to and from work. Let's see, it was up 15% or something, the gasoline. It's funny how the price shock is transmitted at the speed of light. First time somebody shoots at a tanker, then boom, the price at your gas pump shoots up. But people are living on the edge financially anyhow up there. So another war. What else is going on? I saw something. I just looked at a couple of the YouTube channels that I look at. Guy named Larry, he must be up in the upper Midwest or out a little further west, in retirement. He's got 100,000 subscribers, I think. And also at Cheap Van Life, Bob's cool. I think he's a really sharp guy, and I think he's got a good sense of humor too. But anyway, I never used to pay much attention to anybody on YouTube, and now maybe it's out of sympathy, huh? If I watch them, maybe they'll watch me if they have time. But my thoughts then moved on to, I saw a headline on the same screen for virtual girlfriends, virtual woman friends, companions, or boyfriends, I suppose, too. Although there is an asymmetry, as we all know, between men and women, what they want, need, what their perceptions are, etc. But anyway, from a guy's standpoint, for the woman that always agrees with you, always laughed at your joke, even if she's not real. And imagine she could be talking to 1,000 or 10,000 lonely guys at the same time. And I thought from that, there's probably going to be grandpa types too. Your grandpa died before you got to know him very well. So here's an old person who fits the role of your grandpa. A lot of stuff I see online about the demographics and the social situation in Japan, in the society. These people that are shut in, people that stay in by their own choice, stay in their apartment or whatever, hardly ever go out, have stuff delivered. They've just dropped out. And that's not the only place. There was a lie down movement in China. A lot of young people. This bothered the government a great deal because if you got people that are just taking it easy, doing the absolute minimum, your economy is not going to surge forward. So what's going on here? Higher standards of living lead to lower birth rates, and that's a phenomenon. So we're going to have fewer and fewer people, and they're going to be more and more lonely and disconnected from society and from other people. And I'm sure along the way there's going to be the virtual boyfriend, girlfriend, grandpa, mentor. And what are these AI grandpas going to tell? Tell the kids that are looking to them for wisdom. We always seem to substitute some kind of a technology for the things that used to just be natural, default, couldn't avoid them. I always run these things and these trends back to the time when we were all living in a cave, 2 or 3 families maybe, and we got the fire out front there, and It's a nice evening. We're all sitting around the fire, and this old guy's telling a story about the big hunt some years back. You have mentoring, you have all these family relationships. People are living pretty crudely, but socially, they really have no choice. They don't have any AI to create an artificial grandpa with. They got grandpa right there. And they got the other old people. And this society doesn't respect the old too much. There still is a certain regard for someone. The reality that that a guy that's 80 has all that experience, and that it has changed them, yes, and that their biochemistry has changed them also. But they are like time travelers, really. And I know, because in my own head, it's not 2026. Couldn't possibly be. That's the year for some science fiction story. It can't be this year. In my mind, it's still back in the 80s. It's still 40 years ago. Hard to imagine, but most of what is in my head is from the past. Not the recent past either. The majority of it is 60 years back. So anyway, we move forward. I don't know if we get better. The idea of substituting technology for just simple human relationships, we say it's dangerous. I mean, it strikes us as terrible, dangerous, etc. But as in that story, I Am Legend, about the last normal human being, everybody else is a zombie. At some point, this will be the normal way. We'll be so integrated with our technology and with the AI and these neural implants. Neuralink, I was thinking about that. That's one of Musk's things. And I remember plenty of science fiction stories where somebody had a socket on behind their neck, usually low, and they could plug themselves into whatever. It may not be physically that, but the implanted chip that connects you to the internet, for your own convenience, of course, and so the government can better protect you. The people that have been in control using traditional methods, beating you up if you didn't do what you were told, they're not going to be so crude in the future. They're going to be very benevolent because they have the controls. They will have the controls. And you better believe the people that are running things now, that have the most influence on the way things go, they're not going to give that up. They're looking for new ways of doing it, and those new ways are out there. There was an old bit of wisdom, which is usually not wisdom, to the effect that the average person has got some kind of a native intelligence that lets them detect when somebody's trying to sneak up on them. Nah, they don't. They're more like sheep, 85, 90%. And the ones that are the desire to run things, that have the capability of running things, they're not even the remaining 10%. There's a few people that are just standing apart, don't want to control and don't want to be controlled. They're out there. So I said I was losing my initiative or my inertia. I think it was inertia. I was creating a video about every day. One thing that happens is I try to make more and more complicated things, to write longer and longer scripts, to research deeper and deeper. And on the graphics, and the editing, boy, that'll suck up all your time. If you do one of these things in one take, like I started out doing, and I should have kept doing, because the Lord knows I can talk. Whether it makes any sense or not, or is of any interest to anyone, including me, I don't know. But I can do that. So turn the camera on, turn the recorder on, and just babble for about 10 minutes, which we're coming up on. And the editing is snipping the ends, like the guy that smokes a cigar, he snips the end there. and that's about all I do in the editor. But when I start playing around with what it can do and the graphics and all that, boy, the time multiplies by 10. And I see some of the advice about don't lose heart, it takes a while to get your channel going. And most people, as they do in Vegas and Reno, quit just before they're about to win. I'm priming the slot machine for myself. Unlike Vegas, and when I walk away from it disgusted, somebody else walks up and gets the big payoff. Nobody's going to get the big payoff from what I've been putting in. So as a lot of these advice givers on here regarding YouTube creation suggest, you just have to keep plugging away at it because you are investing, you're putting nickels in that slot machine, and eventually, especially if you put a little more whammy on that handle. When you pull that handle down, your intention and your positive thinking is what's going to produce the jackpot. But anyway, maybe you get better, or maybe you get more interesting or less dull. So anyway, that's it. That's wow, that's coming up on 12 minutes. I've been doing 4-minute things, just long enough that they don't become shorts. I think I should do the shorts more, but I think the shorts, the way I like to do them, I imagine doing them, will be way edited, lots of graphics, and put a lot into them, so they will be more work than doing one of these. You've stayed with me. That shows you have stamina, and I've been here the whole time too, so I have stamina, and I want you to have a great day, and if you're feeling bad, snap out of it. You're alive, and that's worth something, they say. So good luck to you. And we will see you next time, or the other way around. Ciao.